So as you know, the hero has been officially released, and he's been out for, a good little while now. It hasn't been that long since he's been released, so I kind of wanted to put my 2 cents on the character and kind of just talk about how I feel about how good he is. And, just ramble on with you guys, and we can talk about our overall thoughts. Now, if you want to know how much time I've had with the character, I basically played him on 2 streams, and the full extent of my playtime with that character has been on those 2 streams, which was my recent Fight Club stream where I play with you guys in the chat, and the stream where he just was released, and I kind of just downloaded him and played him for the first time. So my overall thoughts are not based on a ton of research. I want to say I have maybe like 5 hours total really playing the hero, maybe more. That's just an estimate off the top of my head, but that's kind of what I have right now. And honestly, he's good. He's a very good character. He's definitely not bad. He's not a bad character. But the thing that makes him kind of hard to pinpoint is that a lot of this character works on RNG, just hardcore RNG. So it's kind of hard for me to pinpoint where exactly in the tier list he lies. I'm not really someone who makes tier lists. I'm the kind of person who does believe that every character is viable to an extent, but there are characters who just have better tools, and I think like someone who tries hard enough can get really good with, bottom tier characters enough to do well. But there's just some characters that don't require as much effort because their tool set is already really good, right? But where do you place a character like the hero where a large portion of what makes him good are things that he can't control? See, a lot of his aerials, they come up pretty slow. On his own, if you take out pretty much all the RNG parts to him, he's okay. The only thing that are kind of ridiculous that you can consider to be consistent is his side B and his neutral B, which is his neutral special and his side special. The reason for that is because they're always there. They're not RNG in any way. You're always gonna have those moves. They're always gonna be available to the hero at pretty much all times, right? But those moves are so strong. For example, a fully charged side B, when fully activated, has armor on it, and it can kill really early. Like, early to the point where it's a little suspicious as to why certain characters are dying as early as they are from that move. But it takes up so much magic meter that I think it's like almost half. If it's not half, it's around there somewhere. But it's a big chunk. That's the point. You can't just like do that move willy-nilly. Like, you get to do it once, and then you kind of have to like recharge, or at least wait just a little while, and then you'll be able to do it again. To me, the hero's best move is his neutral special, which is his fireball charge. Mainly because, for one, you can charge this move with no magic whatsoever. You can have 0 MP, and it will still let you charge it, which is just... that's weird to me. I didn't think they would... I kind of assumed that if you didn't have any magic, you wouldn't be able to do the fire charge at all. But, no, you can. I think that's a little weird. But that move, the fully charged fireball, does like 39% and kills like super early. So if you manage to edgeguard somebody with that, and again, you're going to have this at all times, like it's not like that goes away, you could just do it. And the charge is like, I think the MP cost is like somewhere around 30, so you can shoot like 3 of these fully charged shots before you can't. And the risk is low too, because at least with the side special, you kind of like stay in place the entire time, and it's not a projectile. They kind of have to be next to you. But the fireball, it's a projectile. It's I don't know. I think the fireball is his best move because it just has like a wider range of like uses than the side B does, even though the side special is overall stronger, but it's stronger by not as much with more cost and like less range, right? So if we're talking about those 2 moves specifically, yeah, he has some pretty strong moves, and those moves like definitely bump him up a pretty good amount, right? It's just his normals don't seem that crazy. They combo into each other, but not very reliably. It seems like very easy to just kind of DI out of it or spam dodge, and you'll be able to like find a way out of it. I think his best normal is probably like his down tilt or something, just because it's a pop-up, so you can kind of, abuse someone in the air for a little while. The other thing is his recovery is good. I was surprised to see that his recovery stalls while charging, so you don't have to worry about, charging and then dying in a way. It's good. It reminds me of using like a Diddy Kong charge kind of recovery, where it stalls you in the air while you're charging it up, and the more you charge it up, the higher you fly up. But it also has like this really interesting hitbox on the bottom, which has been a really weird gimping tool I've noticed, but that's a whole other thing, right? This is not supposed to be an analysis. The thing that makes this character RNG and why I think it's so hard to pinpoint for me how good this character is that a lot of the stuff that he has that I'm sure you've seen all over Twitter as being insanely ridiculous, you can't choose it, really. For one, the character gets random critical hits for smash attacks, so he'll hit you with a smash attack maybe once or twice, you get like 20% or something, like the usual smash attack kind of damage. But then, just at random intervals, he can just get lucky and get a random crit from that smash attack, and suddenly that attack that did like 20 something would now do like 50. That's insane. That's super strong, and it's random. Like, you can't control that. The other thing too is that his down B, you get like 4 different magical abilities, like spells or whatever. They're completely random, and I think there's like 17 to 19 or so spells that will pop up on that whole thing. All random. You can keep pressing down B and canceling it over and over in hopes to get something better, but when you're trying to rush out a certain move in the middle of a fighting game, it's not that easy. It's easier said than done, right? Because once you press down B, I think it's like 19 frames of startup animation, which makes you super open while opening it. So chances are you're going to open it when you're far away from someone, and you can't move for like a while while you're doing it. So it's like, if you're choosing something, you better be choosing something that's going to protect you from the guy who's clearly going to be approaching you while you're open. But again, it's completely random. I've seen people hope to get something good, and then they just kamikaze and kill themselves. While in some situations, I've seen someone get exactly what they needed to edgeguard someone, and win a game because of it. So it's a gamble, So sometimes you get something good, sometimes you get something bad. Now, I do want to point out, there's a specific move that has also made rounds on Twitter as making the character broken, apparently. This is the thing that I don't really fully agree with, and that's the move Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus has, last I checked, and I've had people kind of correct me on this, so I'm going to just mention both percentages in case I have it wrong. But it's about, give or take, 39-40% chance of something bad happening to the person who used Hocus Pocus, the hero. However, I also heard from other sources that it's actually 60% chance of something bad happening to the hero, which that's a very big difference between the two, so I'm not exactly sure which one's the case. But regardless of which one we're talking about, there's a pretty likely chance that Hocus Pocus will do something that just messes the hero up and does not help him. It just does something. It can poison him, it can make him go to sleep, it can drain all his magic, it can do all these horrible negative things that is just awful. When you do get those good results from Hocus Pocus, they are insane. And again, they're very unlikely. Hypothetically speaking, if it is 60% chance of negative, there's also a small portion of the last final bit where it could just be a random spell that he already has, right? But not counting that very small percentage that is left can make him invincible, can give him a mega mushroom. It can do some like wildly insane things that some people say is broken, and in some cases, yeah. But let's be honest here. I want to make this very clear. The reason why I do not believe that Hocus Pocus makes the hero broken is because the chances of you getting something good out of that is so low. Here's why. If somebody decides, let's say tournament or whatever, right, to press down B, right? And apparently, again, if my research could be wrong, because, I haven't had, like, a ton of time with the character. Everyone's still kind of learning the character. But apparently it's a 5% chance that Hocus Pocus will show up when you press down B. Out of the 4 spells, 5% for Hocus Pocus, right? So you have a 5% chance to get this move. Then, there's on top of that, if you choose Hocus Pocus, there's another 60% chance, apparently, that something bad happens to the guy who used it. Meaning, at most, something positive happening for the hero, it's like 5% chance, and then below that, 40% chance, and apparently a portion of that is just to use a spell he already had. So that means in order for the super crazy shit to happen, the chances are so low, it's like, it's so unlikely. If someone gets it, they basically just pulled the slot machine and got all 7s. Like, it's just like the best possible scenario. I've seen, and people pointing to like Twitter clips where like someone used Hocus Pocus in the first like 12 seconds of the fight, becoming huge, and then doing side smash while huge and getting crit. That is literally a 0.03% chance of happening. It's so astronomically unlikely that just because you see someone's Twitter clip that went viral doing it doesn't mean it's likely. And for that reason, it's like, you are more likely to get like 2 to 3 bomb-bombs in one fight as Daisy than you are to have that happen to you. You are more likely, Game & Watch is more likely to get like 2 level 9s in a single match than that is to happen. So I don't know. I don't see this as like broken. The way I look at it is like, that is like the hero's reward for just doing the ultimate gamble. Like the ultimate gamble, and he got the fucking jackpot. That's what that is, in my opinion. Do I think it's ridiculous? Yes. But the likelihood of it happening is so low that it's not, I don't see it as like broken. What's broken to me is if he was able to do that on command. Like if say for example, if the command list down B special was cycled like Olimar's Pikmin. If it was like that, yeah, I would kind of agree with you. Because then you definitely could choose what you wanted. But you really can't. It's completely randomized, so I don't know. I don't know what to say. But those are my thoughts on the hero. Personally, I think he's a really good character who excels a lot of high damage and a lot of risk. But he's not broken in my opinion. But I know a lot of you guys are going to disagree, especially when you have people like Zero saying that he is broken. So, you know, feel free to let me know what you guys feel about this character, how you feel about him competitively. And for God's sakes, do not ban him in Tournament. Don't be Leffen. Don't be an idiot. Alright? I'll make that clear. That's all I have for you guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike if you disliked it. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.